What's up, people? It's your boy, the Wrestling Douche, here with another video in this post-WrestleMania 41 world. That's right, WrestleMania Sunday wrapped last night. Not too great reaction, to be honest. Like, most people are happy that John Cena won his 17th world title, but the way it happened, not so much. But, we can discuss that later. What I want to discuss today is the crowd reactions many of the superstars were getting. In fact, I have 3 examples I want to give. The first one being Bianca Belair. She was in the triple threat match with Rhea Ripley and champion Io Sky for the women's world title last night, and she's been getting booed. She was booed heavily last night, but in the weeks leading up to this bout, she was booed. And for good reason. I've heard a lot of fans talk about how Rhea Ripley was acting like a baby. How she had no business trying to insert herself into this match, and that Bianca Belair had won the Elimination Chamber, Io Sky won Rhea's title, and Rhea had no claim on this. But I'd like to disagree, because you can rewind back to the original match between Rhea Ripley defending her title against Io Sky, and Bianca Belair was sitting ringside, and physically got involved right in front of the referee, and the referee didn't throw the match out as a DQ. When in any other circumstance, if you have an outsider, someone who's not part of the match, who's putting their hands on the current champion defending their title, that would have been a disqualification, unless it was specifically noted that this was a no DQ match, and that was not the case. So I think Rhea did have claims, and Rhea was getting the largest reaction out of any of the wrestlers in this match anyway. But Bianca Belair, who is supposed to be this massive babyface, the John Cena of the female division, was getting booed last night. Now, we also had a 4-way match for Bron Breaker's Intercontinental title. He was defending against Finn Balor, Penta, and Dominik Mysterio. And you see, Finn Balor, Dominik, they're both in the Judgment Day. So when we get to this fatal 4-way, Finn Balor almost had them, and he's the supposed leader of Judgment Day. He had this mentality that Dominik would basically roll over for him. Like, yeah, we're on the same page, but when it comes down to it, I'm walking away with this title, I'm the leader. But Dom wasn't having none of that. And there was even a point where, if I'm not mistaken, Finn Balor attacked Dom first, right? He knocked him off the rope or whatever. So the end of this match saw Dominik Mysterio frog splash Finn Balor and pin his ass, and he won the title, keeping Bron Breaker looking strong, by the way, so he can move on to bigger and better things. And I still say with Bron Breaker, take Maxine Dupree, put her on his side, have her be his manager, and I think that would be an amazing look. I really do. But that's just a personal thing. Point is, when Dominik Mysterio won the title, you would have never guessed he had been a heel for, 2 years leading up to this? He received a hero's welcome. He received a massive babyface pop for winning that Intercontinental title, to the point where he even ran back to the ring and flexed again, and the fans absolutely loved Dirty Dom winning the Intercontinental title. And he won it technically from Bron Breaker, someone else who the fans love. So that speaks volumes, and it wasn't your gradual babyface turn. Like when we speak about Bianca Belair, that was gradual. As the weeks went on, there were more and more boos, culminating at WrestleMania last night. For Dom, it was like they flipped a switch. He was a heel last Monday. He's a babyface at WrestleMania. He was a heel going into this match. So that brings us to our third subject, our third example, our third case. Because Dominik Mysterio, he was getting such a massive babyface reaction, I'd like to say it outshined what's supposed to be the number 1 babyface in WWE, Cody Rhodes. The thing with Cody, and look, we've got a stadium full of the biggest WWE fans. The top fans, the people who probably take wrestling a little too serious, who are willing to spend thousands and thousands of dollars on each ticket, and then the money to fly out to Las Vegas, rent a hotel room. It's those fans. And Cody was their champion last year. It felt like 90% of the fans were behind Cody last year, including these diehard fans, these marks. Cody isn't their champion anymore. And I get a lot of it's nostalgia. They grew up watching John Cena. He was their boy. They've been watching him since they were little children. So to see him back in the ring for his final WrestleMania, going after his 17th world title, I can get why they'd get behind John Cena. But it's not like they were cheering both wrestlers here. And I had to watch the match back, because I watched with a couple friends last night. I went back this morning, watched again, and yeah, Cody Rhodes was getting significantly more boos than cheers. He was hitting his Cody cutter, getting booed. Trying to hit the bionic elbow, getting booed. John Cena retaliates, hits some offense, and John Cena's acting like a heel, man. He's removing the turnbuckle pads. He's smashing Cody with the belt. Before he smashed Cody with the belt, he's begging Cody not to hit him before he kicks him in the nuts. Before Cena kicks Cody in the nuts. The fans were cheering it. And they popped big time when John Cena finally pinned Cody Rhodes and won the title. Even with the travesty, the abortion, the shit show that was Travis Scott coming out there, which should have never happened. And, you know, I think one reason a lot of people said the match was so horrendous was because Cena wasn't trying to get pops. He wasn't playing to the crowd. That was Cody's job. And I think in the minds of Triple H and the creative team, yeah, it's okay for Cena to slow the pace of the match and not really play to the crowd and kind of be bland, because the big pops were going to come in when Cody's on offense, when Cody's rallying the crowd. But it didn't happen. They weren't buying into Cody's shit last night. The thing is, John Cena has always been authentic. And so I think the least authentic he's been is now trying to act as a heel. And if it were up to me, I would have handled his heel turn a little different, but that's another subject for another video for another day. But the fact is, Cody, he's only acting how he thinks the face of the company should act, how a babyface should act. John Cena, he's never had to act. That's who he is. It's pure authenticity. And when the fans would boo him, when he was getting mixed reactions, it's not like it's go away heat. Number one, they're booing the PG era, and he just happened to be the face of that. But there's a reason these marks were online. When's John Cena going to turn heel? Oh, they should turn him heel. They should do this. They should do that, because they didn't want John Cena to go away. They weren't booing John Cena. They liked John Cena. They just wanted John Cena to have more of an edge. They didn't like the polished PG crap. And most people didn't. At least most people over, 12 years old. So, I bring this up because I feel like the winds of change are coming in the WWE. I feel like there is a cultural shift in the audience. And I don't think we're returning to the Attitude Era. It was a beautiful thing, but it was like a one-time thing. And we're never going to see the proverbial Attitude Era again. But that doesn't mean we aren't entering an era, another era, of the anti-hero. You know, Cody Rhodes played this real polished babyface with the sparkling white teeth and blonde hair and blue eyes and signing every autograph. And that should only get you too far. It's like they say the difference between cute and beautiful is that cute gets annoying after so long. And so does this Cody Rhodes act. I really feel like the audience wants someone with a little more grunge to him, a little more depth, a little more grit. And I think that's why Bianca Belair is getting booed. I think that's why Cody Rhodes is getting booed. And I think that's why Dirty Dom is getting cheered. Why Bron Breaker was getting cheered. Shit, Bron Breaker was supposedly a heel just a few weeks ago. And they can't stop cheering for him. They're going to cheer for Logan Paul soon. We are entering another era of the anti-hero. And I just hope lunkhead Triple H is smart enough to capitalize on that. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. I'll be back with another video soon. I'll also be on Wrestling with Horror tonight as we watch Raw and then give our review. The Raw after WrestleMania. It's got to be better than last year because you don't have your top face of the company homoerotically crying into Triple H's chest while giving him an old-fashioned. It's how it went, I remember. Ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you think in the comments. I've been WrestleDouche, and I'll talk to you soon.